Hello guys, so welcome to the channel. So this is the first YouTube video that we'll be doing. We're going to be doing these now every fortnight, so very excited to be delivering as much value as possible to all of you. I'm here with Jack today. We're at training station. Jack could be considered as a hybrid athlete. He used to be a bodybuilder. He swerved bodybuilding and has now decided to become a CrossFit muppet slash triathlon muppet.
Yeah.
And now we've stepped back into a bodybuilding gym today and we're going to hit a push session. So
I was a below average bodybuilder and I decided I'm never going to be a fantastic athlete, so why not do both?
yeah, be a jack of all trades.
Be mediocre at both and mangle it together and then become a hybrid athlete.
So first movement is we've got a lateral raise. Now I like to stick this in at the start of any upper body session really, because if we throw in a lateral raise at the start, we've got a great opportunity to drive some synovial fluid into the shoulder joint, which is basically going to lubricate all the joints. So when you go in and do some heavy pressing, you've actually warmed up the joint beforehand and it's going to reduce the likelihood of injury. Yeah. So when people are doing lateral raises, what a lot of people do, it's a lot easier on machines, but it's even more apparent when you do it with dumbbells. It's like people let everything come too far in. And so in this position here, the first 15 degrees of abduction is actually not really the delta, and actually the prime mover. It's going to be the supraspinatus. Obviously the delta can do a little bit of work. But what we really want to do to fuck your delta up as much as possible is when you're coming down on lateral raise, you don't want to come any lower than that. If you come here, first of all, the load's been taken off completely, especially if you're using a dumbbell. But second of all, it's like the supraspinatus is actually going to be the prime mover to get you back to there anyway. So when you're doing lateral raises, you basically want to come down nice and controlled and stop about there before you let it fully off. Stop about there and then drive out again to keep tension on your delts. This left arm's fucked.
It's nice, that machine, that. It's such a juice head for someone who doesn't use gear. Big veiny shoulders and forearms and everything. That. I was down to about 2 or 3 kilos off what we were when I'd done that photo shoot.
Yeah.
And I'd like 3 veins because I don't use gear anymore. And I was like, fuck's sake. I'm just not a vascular human. Even after the tri, you'd think after that,
vascular as well.
Like a kilo of carbs 2 days in a row,
yeah,
and then 90 grams of carbs an hour throughout it. And heart rate in zone 4, zone 5 the whole time. Not.
It's just leanness, isn't it? I'm a firm believer that delts, because of the type 2 fibers that there are, respond a lot better to much higher volume. So what I've been doing recently is throwing in actually a couple of S-balls, a couple of drop sets, provided that my recovery can handle it. And I've actually seen both in myself and the clients that delts are developing a lot better over the last 4 to 6 months since we started throwing in more volume. And so I used to do that a couple of years ago, stopped doing it because I got into the top and back offset thing, and delta didn't really grow. And then I started doing it again, and lo and behold, everyone's delta growing. So I actually believe that they can handle a lot more density of volume in a short period of time, and I actually respond better to that.
funny you should say about like training delts now. I haven't done a lateral movement on my shoulders since we last trained together probably. And they haven't got any smaller. They haven't got any stronger because I haven't lifted any weight on them. But I've done loads of pressing, but I've been swimming. And swimming just lights up my delts. I come out of the pool or the swim and I'm like, just blown up. So I'm definitely not gonna look fucking stacked just swimming, but at least they're not getting any smaller for the sessions that I'm squeezing in, because I'm only managed to get 2 real bodybuilding style sessions in at the minute.
And I think what also is important to say with that is when you're training your delts with some sort of lateral raise, you can actually handle more volume as well from a recovery standpoint. So not only do they respond better to more volume, but like if you do 4 sets of a press, it's going to put you in the bin. If you do 4 sets of lateral raises, like you'll still be able to recover from it. That's usually the limiting factor, is like don't do more volume than you can recover from. You can always recover from 4 or 5 sets of lateral raises. Like it's fine. So recommendations: just fuck your delts up with loads of volume. So look, ideally what we wanted in today's session was to come in our first press to be dumbbell press, because naturally it's very taxing on the nervous system. You won't really get much out of that later in the session once you're fried and fatigued. But the reason we needed a dumbbell press is because we want the load to come off at the top. So the decision was basically Smith press, that's the only other chest press in here, or one of the Panata converging presses. Now, in order to replicate what we had originally planned for in the dumbbell press, where it comes off at the top, there's no weight at the top when you stack with the dumbbell at the top. It's the same thing on the Smith press. Whereas with the convergent press, as you press in, there's still loads pulling me this way. So we're still fatiguing ourselves up in this position. So what we're going to do is we're going to come and choose this one over the convergent press now, and then we go to the convergent press later. So when we're doing any heavy presses, it's imperative that we do warm sets beforehand. So we're going to take a load that's very light, we're going to slowly build up to the weight that we're actually going to use for the top set. We need to get some blood into the muscle, we need to turn the nervous system on so that it's firing the correct motor units so that we can actually perform at the highest standard. And then also just to warm up the drinks.
What are you going for?
Whatever. Until it stops.
Go on, lift off.
Yeah, please.
Call it.
3, 2. Step back a bit, Jack.
Come on, lad, drive it.
One more with the heavy spot.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Dig in, come on. Let's go. When you're touching it.
Spot. Let's go. Drive it in.
I'm up.
That's where it's at. Push it through, push it through, push it through. I want another one. I want another one. One more. With me. Push it in. Let's go. Right to the top, bicep across. All the way. Lovely. Nice. Beautiful, lad.
Spicy, that.
So what's your training actually doing, like?
I don't want to be a skinny muppet in Lycra. That's the big prerequisite with lifting any weights at the minute, is to not be a skinny muppet in Lycra. So I'm like 2 strength slash hypertrophy sessions somewhere in the week, normally an upper and a lower, and then a conditioning session on Saturday. And then everything else is cardio. So with the Keltman in June. It'll be like a 24-hour training week.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
What's
So
that, like 4 hours a day?
It's like double sessions, yeah. Most days is 2 sessions, or like the weekend is like a 4-hour bike and then a 2-hour run.
Yeah.
Like 2 days in a bounce.
So,
sound, because I get to eat loads of food.
kilo of carbs.
Just don't want to end up like a skinny muppet in lycra. Come on, lads, finish it. Finish it.
Lovely, lads. Right, couple more now. Drive it in. Drive it in. Push it hard there. Come on, push it through. Push it through. One more after this. One more after this. One more after this. Don't mess about at the bottom. Don't mess about. Fucking push it. Yep, 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 yep. All the way. All the way. Lovely, lads.
2 triceps, lad.
Nice, lad. Right, so one of the things that I heard the guy called Ed Milet say about building confidence and building self-esteem is that is built from keeping the promises that you make to yourself. So when you make a promise to yourself and you break it, you effectively lie to yourself, you lose trust with yourself, and your self-belief goes down, and you damage your relationship and your confidence goes down as a result, whereas the exact opposite is also true. You make a promise to yourself, you keep it, you build trust with yourself, and you actually start believing in yourself a bit more, and your confidence goes up as a result. And so in my life recently, and what I'm breathing into clients, is that if you say you're going to do something, you have to follow through with it. And when you do that consistently over and over and over again, that's how confidence is built.
From personal experience, you can feel confident, you can be smashing it in business and training and life and anything. And then the little promises that you make, like the little promises that you break, like 3 sets on that leg press. I'm just going to do 2 today.
Yes.
That's it. That's as small as it takes, and they compound over time.
You lose a little bit of self-respect every single time you break a promise. Yeah. So like, even down to the minute things, if I say I'm going to get someone's form clip to them by Tuesday, then no matter what happens, I have to get that done by Tuesday, because if I let it go to Wednesday, that's then a knock-on effect. That I lose a little bit of self-respect, the client loses a little bit of self-respect. You've got to actually follow through with what you're saying. Is that saying how you do something is how you do everything, isn't it? Higher standards only. So this is the converging press. So when we're doing a converging press, actually when you press, the handles get close together. And so when you do that, what effectively is going on, Jack, if you can come around a little bit. As I actually press forwards and I come in, the machine is pulling me this way. And so there's still a line of force which is applying resistance and challenge to my chest. So like with the dumbbells and with the Smith machine, which we mentioned, as you get to the top, the weight's pretty much stacked above your shoulder, so there's no challenge. Whereas with this, there's still a lot of challenge up here, so there's a lot of challenge in the shortened position. Now, that, for some people, they want to challenge a shortened position at the start of the session, they want to challenge a shortened position at the end of the session. I actually don't think it really matters too much, because for me, you can either challenge a short position at the start, because as you fatigue, your ability to get short is going to diminish. So it makes sense to do it at the start, so that as you fatigue later in the session, you won't really be able to get much out of the short position. So it makes sense to do it at the start, but also you can do it as the second press, which we're doing today, because we want to drive a bit more metabolic stress, because also in the short position, we drive more metabolic stress, more lactate, more CO2, and we create that burning sensation, which is a driver of hypertrophy. So the goal of this set for us today, and why we're not putting it at the start of the session, why we're putting it halfway through the session, is because we're here to drive metabolic stress, not so much mechanical tension. So with our goal, obviously, of trying to drive metabolic stress in this, we're going to do some higher rep sets and really just spend a second in the shortened position at the top and really try and get that squeeze.
This is a gym bro thing that, see if you agree with me, gym bros, like the loudest guy in like JD, for example, won't really train decline like this, because this is like a slight decline, because you feel like it's cheating, because it's easier.
Yeah.
And that is like a bugbear when you understand why it's easier, because your chest's actually just in a better position to press because of the way the chest fibers align. Pressing slightly down like that, like on this machine, you're gonna be stronger because your chest's in a better position to actually press the weight. So in cheating, it's not easier, you're just stronger here. He says as he struggles to get it out. You're stronger here.
It's worth noting as well that you don't have to do a decline press, a flat press, and an incline press all in the same session, because regardless of whatever press you're doing, all of your chest is still contracting. You're just going to be able to bias certain points. If you do an incline press, you're going to bias your clavicular pec. If you do a decline press, you're going to bias the abdominal head of the pec. But regardless, like for most of you watching this, you just need to train your chest properly and contract it properly and get just a bigger chest all round. If you're really like advanced physique, then okay, we want to probably put a bit more emphasis on certain points of your chest if there's a weakness. But just in general, man, just fucking train your chest and get a big one. No, it's me.
As soon as I see someone put 2 ropes on a tricep extension and do it properly, I'm like, it's either you or Jack who trains them. It's either you, Jack, or me.
Trying to do a press while you're laughing.
Fuck that set there.
That's it. If you go to any, even any gym, I think any, not just commercial gyms, if you go into any commercial gym and you see someone who's got 2 ropes out, they've got a logbook out, or they're doing something that's proper, you know that they've got a coach.
Yeah.
There's a lad in Elite in Stockport. He had on one of them lat pull downs, he had the V handle on, he was leaning back off the seat, he had the yoga blocker, and I was like, yes lad.
Yeah.
And then, but he was doing it wrong, so I went up to him, I was like, have you got a coach? And he was like, no, but I've been trying to learn, and I just gave him a bit of advice. But you can see when someone like knows what they're doing, they actually, there's like a stark difference.
Yeah. Come on. Easy finisher.
When people are doing a pec deck, a big mistake that people make is they try and pull their hands together, when actually what your hands are doing has got nothing to do with how hard your chest is contracting. You need to think about getting your bicep across. And if you smash your bicep into the midline of your chest as hard as you can, that will be all you need to get the best chest contraction. So you can be here with your arm strength and your chest has still got all this to contract with, or you can have your arm straight and smash that bicep in and get the greatest chest contraction, but your hands are nowhere near touching. And so focus on actually bringing a bicep across rather than touching your hands together.
chest was fine.
Jab.
Ah, no.
You okay?
Nah, I'm fucking big shooting pain now, me fucking...
Yeah. So, as you've just seen on that set, because we've just done 2 chest presser movements, and that one, as we just mentioned, is a convergent press. We've basically fucked our chest in both the short position and the lengthened position. And as I mentioned, as your chest fatigues or any muscle fatigues, your ability to get short diminishes. So now, when we're doing a pec deck, our ability to really drive that bicep across and finish the rep off, as fatigue goes up throughout the set, is dropping off. So to get the most out of the set, we get to that point where we can't quite finish the rep. Our chest has still got more left, so we can just do some partials at the end, just drive a little bit more stimulus into the chest.
I think at this point in a session, especially if you're like fairly new or you haven't done this training like this in a while, this is where other shit will try and move that, and that's why I've just got that pain in there, because I'm fatiguing, but my ego wants me to finish the rep, but my body physically, like my chest can't, but my brain's telling me to carry on moving the fly, so then something a lot smaller and a lot weaker tries to move it, and you get a big shooting pain in your clavicle.
And this is why in our seminars we have a whole section specifically about safety, working at active range, making sure that stability at the joint is of the highest integrity, so that shit like that doesn't happen.
One thing I think we don't talk about in that, and would be a good point for the next one you do, is knowing when to call it.
Yeah, well, we did briefly touch on that, but yeah, definitely.
Like, that last set there,
Well, we said, didn't we? Like,
it would have been easy for me to carry on, but I know when to call it.
yeah. The failure point is either when the muscle no longer works, or when form breaks down.
Yeah.
One of the two. Or because you're a pussy and you just couldn't take the pain anymore. With this, like we said earlier at the start of the session, I believe delts can handle a higher density of volume. When I say density, I basically mean taking it to a place where we're achieving effective volume where we're close to a failure point, and we keep ourselves close to a failure point for a long period of time. So the density and the quality of that volume within a given time frame is very high, and I think that's the thing that gives the greatest stimulus to your delts. So what we're going to do here is do a rest pause. Other things you could do to achieve the same thing is drop sets, mechanical drop sets. What we're effectively going to do here is do a rest pause, which is we select a load where we probably fail between 10 and 15, go till we can't do any more, have 20 to 30 seconds off, go again until we fail, another 20 to 30 seconds off, and then one more final set. What's also nice about rest pauses is it's a nice time efficient way to get a lot of volume in. So sometimes if I'm rushed for the session and maybe I'm supposed to do 3 sets, I can do 2 straight sets and turn the last one into a rest pause. So again, we're still getting a very similar stimulus, but it's much more time condensed. So session wrapped up. Jack, how did you find it?
All right, didn't hurt as much as I thought it was. I'm actually a lot stronger than I thought I was.
Yeah,
I haven't
I was
trained.
surprised at the fact that he is still.
Yeah.
I mean, some things you have stronger than me. I mean, you've always been stronger.
Probably got a
anyway.
couple more reps out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is nice to see, because I thought you were going to come in and like lift the 20.
Yeah, definitely like not as strong as I used to be. Like especially on chest, that was always my like go-to on it. But it was nice to come in and not. I definitely thought I was just going to like be behind you on everything today. So.
Well, this is what I think is funny. Like the thing about bodybuilders is you look strong, but you're actually not strong in the slightest. And the goal with bodybuilding is to make it inefficient as possible. So you actually don't move that much load if you do it properly.
That's probably why I'm so strong at the minute, because now I'm not training for looks.
Yeah.
I'm actually going in and trying to be stronger in like all my programming is around, well actually that's weak, that's affecting me on the swim, that's affecting me on the run.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably why I'm a little bit stronger still.
Well look, I hope you all enjoyed this first video. There's going to be many more coming. If you enjoyed, please share it with someone that you think will find it valuable. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.